My guest graduated from West Point. After his service as an infantry officer in the Army, he entered the FBI, had a variety of positions, including investigative, tactical, undercover, diplomatic, was a member of the FBI's elite hostage rescue team, retired in December of 2015 from the FBI's New York City office. Please welcome James Gagliano. Mr. Gagliano,
it's so good to join you.
Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. I know you've been awfully busy, and thank you for giving us some of your time. President Trump today praised how the FBI has been handling this investigation into the assassination of Charlie Kirk. He particularly praised how quickly it's proceeded. How do you think it's been handled by the FBI?
Well, that's a great question, Larry. And here's the thing: there exist no perfect crimes anymore. It's not the late 19th century and Jack the Ripper is never to be known. We have such police science has evolved so greatly. The FBI has been around for 117 years. With technology being where it is, there just don't exist perfect crimes. Having said that, this was a difficult one. Now, the suspect, who's now in custody and facing capital murder charges, made a bunch of clumsy errors. But the FBI, along with state and local officials and law enforcement help, were able to grab him in 33 hours. And I think that that is a tribute to good old detective work, and the amount of evidence that has been released already indicates that they do have a very solid case against this young man.
When you say he made a bunch of clumsy errors, talk to us about that.
Absolutely. So there's been some discussion, and I know yesterday morning, I think Deputy Director Dan Bongino had made some comments on television in regards to the fact that the FBI is looking into whether or not this individual, Mr. Robinson, had any connections, support network, or anything like that. Now, today we know there were some conversations between Robinson and his intimate partner on Discord, which were also released that show not that the roommate knew about it in advance, but knew about it obviously afterwards. Well, there are some concerns that there might have been some other people involved. Now, does that mean involved in the murder itself? Not necessarily. It could mean somebody that provided material support before or after, somebody that encouraged, directed, or inspired, like a terrorism case, this individual to conduct this heinous act in killing or conducting a political assassination of a young man who was just trying to exchange ideas. So, watching the videos of this young man on his egress, jumping off of the building, stumbling around a parking lot, wandering around a contiguous neighborhood, it clearly indicates he did not put a lot of pre-planning to this. He admitted to the roommate that he had just decided to do this a week ago, and it clearly shows that he was not a professional assassin.
I read, Mr. Gagliano, that his mother first saw the video, then told his father, who then contacted him, and that ultimately is what resulted in him turning himself in. Can you walk us through that?
Sure. And Larry, I want you to imagine this. I mean, you and I are old enough to remember in the late 70s, in the 1980s, and in the early 90s when Ted Kaczynski was the Unabomber, right, was sending package bombs, IEDs, through the mail to scientists and to academics that he disagreed with. And imagine in 1996 when we get an amazing break in the case for the FBI in that the brother of Ted Kaczynski had read his ramblings in the New York Times and the Washington Post and the Manifesto and ultimately turned him in. This is a similar thing. Imagine how gut-wrenching it's got to be for this family to know that this young man, and in this case, again, came from it seems to be a well-to-do family that was doing everything right by the way they lived and conducted themselves, but just decided to go down this dark hole. So I have a feeling that, with the amount of evidence that's been released right now, the state has a solid case. The top charge is aggravated murder. Aggravated murder is even more serious than murder. And why is that? Because you add the aggravation piece to it, and that attends to the fact that you conducted this heinous murder, but you also put a lot of other people's lives in jeopardy. Larry, there were 3,000 people at this event with Charlie Kirk, and the murderous nihilist, was on the roof and shot a projectile over the heads of all of them. So I have a feeling that there might be some more charges to come down. I know they hit him with obstruction with justice charges. They hit him with witness tampering and some other, not minor, but medium-level charges. But I wouldn't doubt if the feds don't either come in on top of this or there aren't some more charges to come down the road.
Is it pretty clear that he acted alone?
That's a tough one. So, the FBI is remaining tight-lipped about that at the moment, which is appropriate. You don't want to release too much information until you've got all your ducks in a row. It's better to be late and right than early and wrong. I think Director Patel found that out when he immediately tweeted out on X that, we had a suspect in custody, and then realized it was a person of interest, and that person ended up getting released. So they're going to be very, very careful, I have a feeling, about what they release in that regard. The investigation is just really starting. I don't want to say that the easy part is done, Larry, but the road ahead, and first of all, with capital murder charges, if the state seeks the death penalty, you've got to get 2 juries, not one. You've got to get 2 juries of 12 of your peers, 24 people, to agree, A, to convict you, and then to sentence you to death if that's where the state decides to go. Reportedly,
he is not cooperating with the authorities.
Yes, I've heard the same thing through channels. I'm not convinced that he might not have made some statements. I don't know this for certain, but having spent 25 years in the FBI, as you pointed out, and put handcuffs on enough people in similar situations that committed heinous crimes, there are usually statements that are made post-arrest. That certainly could have happened. But even without that, even if this young man decides not to cooperate with authorities, Larry, there's enough forensic evidence there to send this guy away for his, natural life, or send him to the firing squad in Utah. And remember, when it comes to courts of law, you don't need the murder weapon. We have it to convict somebody. And you can convict people on circumstantial evidence. There's no circumstantial evidence here. There is DNA evidence. There's going to be latent fingerprint evidence. There's going to be heel impressions and shoe imprints. There's going to be statements the subject made himself, which is basically going to hang him because he admitted to the crime on Discord.
You refer to his roommate as someone with whom he has been intimate. Has that been confirmed?
Well, when I say intimate relationship, I don't know what's going on in the bedroom. However, an intimate relationship can be husband and wife, or it can be, 2 partners, and they were living together at the time. Again, I just read through the Discord messages. It obviously appears to me, by the way that they spoke to each other, that they were in a romantic relationship.
Mm-hmm. We have about 45 seconds left in this segment, Mr. Gagliano. I want to talk to you about the Discord messages. Were there people who were aware of what he was going to do before he did it?
Well, that hasn't been completely fleshed out yet. What we got today was the post-incident messages. I'm certain that the FBI is in possession of those. And if there were people in those chat rooms that were aware of this and didn't come to the authorities, shame on them. Whether or not they could be charged for it, that's a little dicier, and that's probably a legal question for a lawyer.
My guest is former FBI agent James Gagliano. Mr. Gagliano, please don't go away. 888-971-SAGE. Larry Elder.